Oh yeah. I'll tell you what, these guys are machines when it comes to laying eggs. This is probably my favorite tank in the whole fish room just because it's so beautiful. Yeah, I think I see some eggs. I sure do. Hey everyone, this is Dan from Sydney's Angels. Today I'm going to give you a quick update on the fish room, let you know what I've been up to lately, and why I haven't been around for a couple weeks. Stay tuned. So I give you a quick 360 of the fish room. It's just a section of my basement, but for those of you that haven't seen my videos, there's a 60 gallon right there, two 40s, 5 gallon on each side, empty 29 gallon, Master Breeder Dean's fry system, the main rack, which has all 20 highs on the bottom, 420 highs in the middle, couple 10s, all 10s on top. Got a really rickety, sketchy shelf with two 5 gallons. I didn't build this, by the way. This was here when we bought the house. I'm going to be replacing all that eventually. Got the water mixing station over here with the slop sink. Couple brine shrimp hatcheries. I hatch out every morning and every night. This system is just, I started to build an automatic water change system. And basically, it's probably a plumber's worst nightmare. It looks pretty bad, I know. But basically, hot and cold water hit this shower valve, which makes my water 78 degrees. That comes up to a valve that I can turn on and off. And then that valve sends it through two carbon block, well, a sediment filter and then two carbon block filters to just filter out all the chlorine. Comes down here. This is where it was going to kind of go into my automatic water change system. I've since kind of changed my mind on the system itself, so now I just use it to kind of mix water, and if I need to fill a tank really quick, I'll use this. But my water comes out at about 600 TDS right out of the tap, so it's super duper hard. Lots of calcium in it, lots and lots of chlorine in it. Actually, when I run the faucet like this, the fumes of chlorine that you get from that in the wintertime will hurt your lungs. It's pretty ridiculous. I know the water company's got to send chlorine through the pipes, and I know they do it even more in the winter when we have snow and stuff, but man, it is I don't like to put that in the tanks if I can help it. So over here I've got 3 Brute 44 gallon garbage cans. And basically, these first 2 are all reverse osmosis water. That's reverse osmosis. I use that for the saltwater tank and for mixing. This is reverse osmosis with a heater and a pump. I remineralize this water to a TDS of about 100. And this third vat of water is half RO, half tap water. So it's got a TDS of about 300. All the fish down here seem to really love it. Plants don't love it because pH is still about 8, which is unfortunate, but there's only so much I can do. I can't use all RO water as much as I'd love to. It's just too expensive in my area. So I live about an hour west of Chicago, and water is super expensive. And I pay Chicago water prices for poopy treated well water, basically. So I wish I had city water, but I don't. We've got a hexagon tank full of shrimp and endlers. No filter, no heater, no problem. And then we've got this rack I built for 10 gallon tanks. And I've got some ideas for this rack, so we'll talk about that. I've got an empty 75 gallon tank, just seems to acquire a little bit of junk. And we just got some stuff that needs to get cleaned up, so. More tanks upstairs, but we're just going to kind of focus on the fish room today. And I just kind of want to show you what's going on. I have a couple Bozeman rainbow fish fry that I'm hatching out. I don't know how many this is, but it's a good amount from 2 mops. Admittedly, I've killed a lot of these on accident. I was using nothing but RO water for a while, and the fish loved it. But the problem with remineralized RO water, if you don't boost the KH, is that it's very prone to pH swings. And what I was finding is when I was trying to transition these guys over to my tap water mix, I was killing them because the pH was swinging too much. And it took 2 batches for me to get this right. So I feel terrible, but these guys should live a long and healthy life, hopefully, because I'm paying attention to the water parameters now. Everything's very stable, and these guys seem very happy. So they're about maybe a couple weeks old, some of them. Some of them were just hatched earlier today. You can see these guys up here are a lot smaller, and you can tell they're newer not only because of their size, but also because they're not eating brine shrimp yet. They don't have any of those orange basketball bellies. So we got to make sure we give them some fry food. So let's do that now. Whoa, I zoomed in way too much. Whoa. So I was giving Aquarium Co-op fry food, which is still really nice food, but I noticed that depending on when you order it, sometimes I feel like the granules are a little bigger in the last batch I bought. So I've since switched to Ceramicron, and this is a really, really good size for these rainbow fish fry. You can see there's a few of them up top, right? Just give it a little tap. Don't need much. Whoop. Oh well, there's a lot of fish in there. This tank gets a 50% water change every day. I hatched a bunch of emerald raspora eggs, and the fry are growing up in the tank with the moms and dads. This is a really nice tank to look at because it's kind of fun to watch these guys grow. Give them brine shrimp twice a day. I took all the sand out of my CPD tank. It's just easier to keep clean this way. And I've been breeding these guys again. You can see I got some emerald rasboras in here. Also working on making hybrids. I don't know if that's a no-no when it comes to CPDs, but I'm doing it. I don't seem to notice any ill effects when it comes to the hybrids, so maybe if anyone knows if there's any dangers in crossing the emerald raspora and CPDs, please let me know, because I've been doing it and the fish that I get are healthy, and in my opinion they're beautiful. So it's a fish I'd like to offer for sale eventually when I have enough of them. And actually there's a hybrid in here somewhere. It's got the pattern of a CPD with the coloration of an emerald raspora. And if you look at the emerald rasboras, you notice on the tail they'll have a little bit of a black dot on the tail, and that the hybrids will also have that as well. So these guys are nice and fat and sassy. I love these fish. They're probably still one of my favorite fish. These fish are all for sale on my website, by the way, sydneysangels.com. If you're interested. Please excuse the algae. I've got algae in all my tanks. It's been kind of crazy lately. But these golden rams are really healthy and they're growing. I am trying to get rid of all of them. I decided I don't want to work with this species anymore. It's not that I don't think it's a good fish. I kind of feel like I'm not really digging the more aggressive fish. These guys are always beating each other up, and I know I probably have too many in this 20 gallon right now. But they're still juveniles and they get water changes, quite frequently. But I don't like the more aggressive fish. It's just not my cup of tea. I thought I was going to be a ram breeder, and turns out I was wrong. I don't really like them as much, and I can say that because that's the truth. So, still beautiful fish. I got them for sale on my website. The Rosario LaCourte line of Bosemani rainbow fish are pumping out a ton of eggs. Why don't we pull this mop and see if there's any eggs on it. If I set the video camera right here, maybe you'll get a good view of my bald spot. I don't know why, but this never gets old. I love doing this. Gotta be a little gentle. And usually I've got a few eggs on here. Let's see. Oh yeah. I'll tell you what, these guys are machines when it comes to laying eggs. And I got these fish from my buddy Steve. He gave them to me, and they're just beautiful fish. He's breeding them outdoors last year, and they grew like crazy outside. But I mean, Love it. And you know what? I got a brand new tank right here. Whoopah! I bet you tomorrow morning we'll see a bunch of babies in there. Probably turn the flow down on that sponge filter. Got it set around 75. I'll probably crank it up to 80. Rainbow fish like, 75, 76 degree water, but I find that the fry do well in slightly warmer water. I hatch them out at 80 degree water. And I used to pull eggs off the mop, but as you can see, pulling eggs off that mop would take way too long. Ain't nobody got time for that. So the next tank over, I got my Melitania Calimoisey, also a gift from Steve. They don't look like much right now, they're not really turned on, but these fish are really, really cool. Really, really cool. They get like this amber, orangey brown color in the morning, and I'm trying to get some eggs from them. I do get some eggs from them. I haven't hatched any out yet, but I just collected my first mop, so I guess time will tell. And I've got a new fish in the fish room, L181 peppermint bristle nose. They're peppermint plecos. They're sub-adults, I think they're breeding age. I don't know. I've never bred plecos before, but I want to start. There's one of them right now. Really cool plecos. Supposed to be pretty easy to breed, which would be good for a rookie like me. So, really looking forward to breeding these guys. Oh, see, you kind of get like a flash of color from this guy when he turns. I'll tell you what, during a water change, these guys they're so cool to look at, and they're going to get bigger and they're going to get more colorful. But an adult in breeding colors, man, they look awesome. These are my red tuxedo platies. Trying to get rid of these, so if anyone's interested, send me a comment or an email. I'll give you all of them for a decent price if you're interested. I'm just trying to make room for more fish. So this is probably my favorite tank in the whole fish room, just because it's so beautiful. I mean, who am I kidding? All these fish are beautiful. But these 24 karat gold guppies, I mean, you see them from across the room. Look at this. I mean, they just look so sick. And they're finally at that age where I'm starting to sell them. I was trying to be cheap and run all my guppy tanks without heaters. And it worked for a while, because I do have a linear piston pump up here that I bought from Gemco. And it was putting off a decent amount of heat when I only had a few tanks attached to it. So it was actually heating my tanks, which was awesome. Because it was like, hey, I'm already running this pump and it's already heating these tanks, like win-win. But as I connected more sponge filters to it, I lost that heat. These tanks got down to about 68 degrees, which is fine for guppies. I mean, they'll tolerate it. I just found that they were growing really slow because their metabolism slows down. And I also found that they were more prone to disease. And I threw filters in all of them now, except for, I think I need one more filter in this one. But the cool thing is, if this tank's set at 78, if this tank's set at 78, this is like 74. So it's still pretty good. I mean, it gets the heat from both tanks. But yeah, I mean, if you're interested in these guppies, I got them on the website. They're beautiful. I love them. I'd love to put them in a display tank. I'm kind of sad. I bred some blue Opaline Gouramis on accident. I mean, I was trying to breed them. I threw a male and a female in a 10 gallon, and I just kind of forgot about them for a week. I was still giving them brine shrimp every day. I went to go do a water change in the tank, and there was a cloud of fry right next to the dad. And the female was pretty beat up. So I took them both out. I didn't end up with the most amount of fry. I had much, much more. But the ones I do have are really pretty. And I'm kind of bummed because I didn't get any of it on video. I was really looking forward to seeing the bubble nest they make and kind of talking about it, and just kind of forgot about it, and I didn't think they'd be so easy to breed. So I've got a bunch of these if anyone's interested. They're pretty small. I mean, I don't know, what are they, maybe a quarter inch, a little bit bigger than a quarter inch. But I mean, look at the color on them already. So I'd like to breed those again, make a video on them, but for now that's what I got. I have started to actually breed some Corydoras Triliniatas, which are the false Julie Cory cats. Of course, I bought them as Julies, but they're not Julies. It's actually kind of rare to get true Julie Cory cats. These guys are really beautiful. And I've had them for a while, actually. But I've never concentrated on breeding them. And I never really gave them their own tank. So I've got, just to let you know kind of what's going on, I've got them in super soft water. I think the pH is like 6.6. Beautiful sand on the bottom that I got from SK Aquaristic. It's got some live plants in here, some water wisteria, a nice river stone, spawning mop that they can kind of hang underneath it. I don't really expect them to lay a whole bunch of eggs in there. It's kind of more for cover. Actually, I think I see some eggs on the glass already. Yes, I think I see some eggs. I sure do. So, I'm gonna have to collect those eggs. That's 2 eggs, not 4. You're seeing the reflection. So we've had a lot of like low pressure systems creeping in, and snow and rain, and in Illinois. Not so much snow, mostly rain. And I've been doing some cold water changes on these guys, feeding them a couple cubes of bloodworms every day and brine shrimp. And I'm noticing eggs in the tank every morning now, which I'm super happy about that, because I've always kind of wanted to breed these guys. But breeding Cory cats is not the easiest thing to do, from what I've heard. So yeah, these guys are breeding, and I got about 9 of them in here, believe it or not. They're all hiding. But I'll have to get these eggs before the snails or other Corys get them. Is that an egg over there? Can't tell. No, I don't know. Who knows? But I think I got like 12 or 14 of these eggs. So let's grab that egg right now. No idea if they're viable at this point. We're gonna bring them over to our fry system. We've got some other ones in here. Trying to keep them away from each other, so if they start to fungus, they won't affect each other. Those two might just have to be buddies, though. Pretty neat stuff, right? But I'm hoping get at least a few fry out of here. That'd be really cool. I'd love to show you guys them kind of growing up and stuff. Be a first for me, that's for sure. Got some CPD eggs in here. So these will be the Corydoras Triliniatas. I'll probably put some rainbow eggs in here, maybe some Kelly Moisey. And I don't know about this one yet. I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we're breeding. So another fish I bought, I actually got this from Marcel, was the Radnacentris ornatus Snapper Creek. And he's the only one I know that actually has these fish. And he bred them selectively to get the most red coloration he could out of them. They're very shy. I've noticed in a planted environment they're a little more comfortable. Right now I've just got them in a breeding tank. Very, very cool rainbow fish. Well, Radnacentris. It's kind of like a rainbow fish, but not really. And something cool about these guys is they haven't been eating their fry. I got some fry in here. I think maybe only 4 of them. But you know, like with a lot of egg scattering fish, they'll eat their eggs, they'll eat their fry. These fry have been allowed to kind of survive. And, you know, I've been so busy lately, I haven't noticed them. But funny thing, I just got down to look at them one day, because, you know, these are fish you kind of have to get close to the glass to appreciate in this setting, because they are timid. They're beautiful fish, though. And like I said, in a fully planted aquarium, they'd probably be a lot more comfortable. But I was sitting down here and I saw something swimming, and I was like, holy cow, that's a fry. And then I saw another and another. I probably got like 5 or 6 in here. But I haven't pulled any mops. I haven't done anything. I just give these guys live baby brine twice a day when I'm home. I think Jordan does it twice a day when I'm at work. So now I've been giving them a little bit more care, making sure to feed them twice a day as much as I possibly can. I'm sorry for the dirty glass. Usually I take the time to scrape the glass and clean the glass before I show you guys this stuff, but oh, there's a CPD in there. Son of a gun. These are the Blair-eye rainbow fish that I spawned a couple months ago. If you know anything about rainbow fish, and I'm still a newbie, one thing you learn though is they grow very slowly. But I look at it as an opportunity to test your patience, because we all need a little more patience in the world. And also, it's really rewarding when they get big. I'm finally starting to get some really colorful big rainbow fish in the 90 gallon, the first ever eggs that I raised. And it is so rewarding because it's such a journey to get to that point, and it's a labor of love. I mean, you don't breed these for profit, that's for sure. You can't turn these around very fast. But for me, I just want other people to have these fish. So, been breeding these guys and really like them. Keeping my CPD and Emerald Raspora hybrids in here. I'm gonna make a video on these guys soon. These are my bigger Philippine blue angelfish. These guys are decent size. They're maybe $half now. Actually been feeding them bloodworms and brine shrimp, and just trying to select my future breeders out of this lot. So that's a really fun tank. Got a ton of dime size still in the 40 gallon down here, and not a whole lot of fish in the 60 gallon. So I sold a lot of these, a ton of them, and I was able to do some cool stuff in the fish room because of it. So thank you anyone that bought these. The L Tiger Endlers were moved down here from upstairs, and that's because I'm redoing that tank in the office. So really excited to show you guys that tank. I still haven't set up the 75 gallon rainbow fish stream, but I got everything I need. I got my Oase filter right there. I've got my manzanita wood. I've got a Nicru light on top. Got some really cool river rock that I got from a local landscape supply store. Some smaller river stones too. They all have so much character, different color. They've got that really nice smooth texture. And then we've got some smaller accent stones too that I bought at a local store. Yeah, it's been killing me not to set this tank up. Really want to, I just haven't had time, so maybe I'll get to do that soon. And I'm not sponsored by Boost Plants or Quanvi, I think. Convi? I'm not sure how you would pronounce that, but I've really grown to like this siphon, so I bought another one. And what I really like about this is it's got a little attachment for hands-free operation. And where I think this is really going to be helpful is when I start doing water changes every day on these fry tanks. It's a pain in the butt not sucking up any fry. I mean, if you raise fry, you know what I'm talking about. There's always seems to be one or two that get sucked into the tube. So this with a intake strainer foam piece on it is going to be a game changer. So yeah, this is pretty much what it looks like. This will screw down onto the side of your tank. Will kind of clamp your tank. Not sure what this is for. I have no idea. And then there's the intake strainer, and I just throw one of these foam pre-filters on it. Not really a DIY thing. And then it's got a little pump on the end. In my opinion, these kind of break after a while. I mean, we'll try using it. I'm not sure if it'll last, but it's nice to have it while I got it. Otherwise, I'll just be a savage and just suck on the end of the hose. Yeah. And that frees up my hands to go do something else for a little bit. Can't forget about it, obviously. But the whole reason I bought this siphon was because of this. And I got another one that I bought on Amazon. I can link this one in the description too. It actually comes with a really nice flexible hose. a bucket clamp, which is super thoughtful, and it works really well too, except there seems to be an airlock, or an air leak rather, up here somewhere. So I don't know, it still works, just not as efficient. So there's a brand, but I mean, you get what you pay for sometimes. It works. I just oh, and it comes with a valve too, which is nice. So maybe I'll show you guys how this one works too. Although, I don't know, I mean, I'll link it. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend it just because I seem to have an air leak in mine, but it might just be something I did too, who knows? Oh, by the way, if you guys run out and buy this, I would recommend this product, but don't get the S3. The sizing was a little confusing for me, but I'm easily confused. So see how that says S3 clip-on? Get the S6. Luckily for me, I had another one laying around. This one's not clip-on, it has a suction cup. But this was the size I needed, because look at this tubing that came with the S3. The diameter is really small. But luckily, I was actually able to switch out these pieces here, and it's all interchangeable. So I got lucky, but yeah, order the S6. And while we're doing some water changes, one last thing I want to show you guys. I just rescaped a 45p aquascape upstairs. It's about 10 gallons, and I was going for like an Iwagumi mountain range style. It's going to have nothing but Monte Carlo in it. It's going to be pretty simple, pretty easy to maintain actually. And I'm going to put my brand new yellow shrimp in there that I just received. Super grateful for those shrimp, and I think this scape will do them justice, and I think that their color will kind of really pop against the stone and the green grass. I think it'll just look really cool. So let me show you that upstairs. I can't really talk during this part because both ladies are sleeping and I don't want to wake them up. So let me show you. So this 45p is about 10 US gallons, and I put a new bag of UNS Contra soil in there with some Ceru stones I've had laying around. I was going for a simple yet high impact scape with some pretty dramatic angles with the rocks. And you can see on the right hand side I've kind of built an elevated platform or a terrace by placing the rocks in such a way that they kind of hold the soil up there. And I think this will be kind of a unique and interesting area. I'm not anticipating any algae problems with this tank right off the bat because I'm using a mature Oase 250 Biomaster filter with mature media in it. And I'm also doing daily 50% water changes for the first week, 50% water changes every other day for the second week, 50% water changes every third day for the third week, and then by the fourth week you do twice a week water changes, and then in about a month you can do one water change a week, although if you can do more it's even better. I also just want to tell you guys about a couple changes that are going to be coming to the channel. I know that I've been producing content weekly, but lately it's been a struggle. It's been hard to get videos out every week, and I'm not gonna lie, there's been a few times I've made videos and they weren't my best work because I didn't have enough time. And you know, YouTube to me is pretty permanent. Like, that stuff's going to be online for a long time, and I don't like to half-ass stuff. So I think I'm going to shoot for every week, but if I don't have time, I'm going to send a video out every other week. So every 2 weeks you'll get a video, and I think this way quality will be a lot better. And I also think I'll be able to do more breeding projects and stuff I actually want to do and share that with you guys long term. So the reason you haven't seen a video in a little bit is I've been busy, and the priorities start with the fish. And basically, if I don't have any time, I just make sure the fish are healthy. That's my number one goal. And I'm sure you guys, it's your number one goal too at home. And you're taking care of live animals. We have a responsibility to keep them in tip-top shape, keep them healthy. And if that's all I got time for, it's all I got time for. But I would always choose water changes and proper maintenance of a tank before I would choose a video. And I love making videos, but I got to take care of these little guys too. So that's kind of where I've been. We're going to shoot for every 2 weeks. Also, I think next winter, and I might start doing this soon, we're going to do overnight delivery only. And the reason for that is I think my packaging is pretty decent, but I've gotten a few DOAs lately, and I use UPS 2-day air, and I think in the summer, fall, and spring that would be totally fine, but in these winter months it just doesn't cut it. I've been seeing too many DOAs, and I know it bums you guys out, it bums me out, because you know I care about these animals and I raise them up from babies. So spend all that time and love and energy to send you a dead fish is just not a good experience for anyone. The whole reason I don't even do overnight is because I know people don't want to pay those prices, but as far as I'm concerned, if you can't pay for overnight shipping, then I'm not going to send you fish in the winter. It's not worth it. And I know there's people online that are going to say, hey, I sent fish all year long, USPS. It takes 4 days to get there. They're fine. That's cool. I have not had I want to be at 100% zero DOAs, and I'm definitely a little far away from that. But I will say, I do take care of everyone. If you order fish from me and you get a DOA, I take care of you. I do what's right. Even though my policy says shipping is non-refundable, I have never made someone pay for shipping on a DOA order, ever. I refund everything. And I know that might not be the smartest move financially. What's right is right. And in my opinion, it's my fault. If they're DOA, something I did wrong. There's no reason that fish should ever show up at your door DOA. I take it personally, and I make sure that you guys are refunded. And so it is what it is. I'm sorry the price is going to go up, but you'll get healthy fish, and it'll be worth it. Summer months, I think I'll still do the 2-day shipping, but we'll see. I don't know. The more rare and hard to breed fish I get in this fish room, the more chances are you're going to have to just pay overnight, and that's it. You know, I think there's a reason people like Dan's Fish switched to overnight only. When I was watching him at first, he was doing USPS, and I don't see him doing that anymore. And there's a reason for that, you know. One too many DOAs, you finally say, you know what, I'm going to do something a little better. So that's kind of what we're going to shoot for. And last thing, some of these fish that I showed you in this video, I'm going to try to be getting rid of. So if you have any offers on any of these fish, particularly the golden rams, the red tuxedo platies, the blue opaline gouramis, but I'm trying to consolidate my fish here. So if you guys are interested in buying any of these, I'm going to be bringing a bunch of fish to a local aquarium store to trade in for store credit. And the reason I'm doing that is got a new family member joining my family in May, and I'm not going to have time to do as many water changes. I'm going to have 2 babies, and I'm definitely not giving up on the hobby. I love this hobby, but I'd like to kind of get as many fish as I can packed into this rack, because I want to get this rack on a automatic water change. If I can do that, I think my life is going to be a lot easier in the next couple months, because just having 2 kiddos, working full-time, plus all the responsibilities I have around the house, it's going to be hard to maintain all these tanks to the level I want to maintain them to.